Why do we always do a podcast right after I take a shower?
We don't.
Yeah, we do. And then I have to put on the headphones, and then my hair, where the headphones are, looks shitty the rest of the day.
Bethany and Sean. We are a couple of nuts talking.
You know how you brought the groceries up today and I helped?
I sure did.
Did you see the little squirrel?
Yeah, Mofo. Mofo was in the parking spot in our little parking lot.
Yeah. So just to give a little story here to the squirrels. We have a neighbor who has made it her life mission.
God bless her, though.
To feed.
She's a sweetheart.
She's a total sweetheart.
Love her.
We love her. I don't, however, love the feeding of squirrels.
Yeah, she leaves nuts.
She leaves barbecue ribs.
She leaves fucking rib bones out.
Chicken bones.
I mean, our place is like a boneyard.
It's a boneyard.
With nuts all over it.
And
then a couple of nuts in here.
Oh, shit.
That's weird.
Yeah. And then I feel like she's creating some entitled squirrels.
She's created a whole entire ecosystem in our little courtyard.
And when these squirrels see a human now, they think, what you got for me?
These motherfuckers don't budge.
They do not budge.
This motherfucker, when I first pulled up before you even saw him, he came up and then he kind of like waited. He
waits, yeah.
Till I got out of the car to make a move.
Just in case you had some num-nums.
To make a move.
Yeah.
This motherfucking squirrel.
He ran from you. Okay, so on the way to our car, there's a little galleyway, like a 2-3 foot galleyway between the other house and
to the
fence.
Galleyway with him.
And I was walking towards the garage.
Yeah.
And the squirrel was running from you towards the trees in the front. And we had a face-off.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, these squirrels are big. They're fat.
Yeah.
They're being well fed, well
well
provided. She probably made a fucking throne in the oak in the front house.
Yeah.
And so I'm like,
I wouldn't be surprised if they live in her apartment, to be honest. And she's just
and they rather be outside.
She's living up in the tree, and they're living in her apartment.
So I was like, oh shit, it's gonna be like this. And Home Slice gets on its hind legs and looks at me.
Oh yeah.
Like, bitch, I can't pass if you're standing there. I'm still an animal.
Yeah.
I still don't trust you because you didn't give me no num-nums.
Yeah, you don't got num-nums.
And I was like, this is on.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden my little heart melted because it looked at me and it cocked its head.
Yeah.
Like, bitch, I'm a tiny animal. You must move.
Very tiny.
So I did like a, what's that bird?
Flamingo.
No, it was in the Prince. It was
Crane.
in Color Purple. Not Color Purple. Purple Rain. It was in Purple Rain. And he's saying, what? That's down the bird. You know that song?
Yeah, but what?
So he does a move where he kind of slides and turns and like wiggles his ankle.
Yeah.
I did that move very suave.
To get out of his way.
But I did it in slow motion to show like, okay, look at what I'm going to do for you. And I gave him the arm, the ever Vanna White arm, as if I was presenting.
Proceed.
Yeah. And he fucking looked at me and was like, yeah, that's what I thought. And then ran. And I was like, oh, bitch.
Yeah.
I should have took the right away. Like, we know who's queen here.
The worst part of these fuckers is she leaves the nuts up on the wall. That separates us from the building next to us.
Now, the wall is tall.
For me, it's eye level.
Eye level, yeah.
I got this fucking eye level wall. And sometimes I'm walking and I don't notice it, but those motherfuckers are sitting up there.
Yeah.
And then I look over, I see something moving out of the corner.
And it'll run along with you and then just stare at you. And those things jump.
The thing is, exactly, they jump to the tree right there. So I start walking faster and then that motherfucker walks faster, like matching my speed.
They smell our fear. They can't believe we're afraid. They're just like, bitch, do you realize I'm less than a foot tall?
It's funny how we're afraid of tiny little things.
That's what I'm saying.
Like, I could squash that motherfucker if I wanted to. If that motherfucker jumped on me, I literally could grab its head.
I mean, it would hurt, like its claws would get in you and whatnot,
it would, but
you
I
wouldn't
could
die.
grab its head and squish it in my hand. I could kill that squirrel.
Yeah.
What am I scared of it for?
Because I think, like, you know what I think? What if it gets my eye? What if it has rabies?
Rabies, eyes.
What if it? Yeah. What if? Who knows? It's got some fecal matter that
and it would just be a scary kind of like abrupt, like
you can't control it.
Yeah.
By the way, that makes me. I love that. I'm going to use that in my coaching because so often our fears.
You're welcome.
So often our well, no, I was already thinking about it.
No, you weren't.
Yes, I really was. I was because remember when we brought up last podcast about I don't know how many ago it was, like this or that, a bee or spider. It's like genuinely we shouldn't be afraid of either. Like it's a manufactured learned fear. When we're born, we are born with I believe it's 2 fears, and that's it. And that's a fear of falling and a fear of what's the other one?
I'm free.
Free falling. No, it's falling, and it's something else that's quite
death,
like nature. No, you're not. You're not. You have zero other fears.
Ooh, the ocean.
No.
Oh man.
No. It's another
scares
like
the shit out of me.
Oh, I'll try and remember what it is.
I love the ocean.
I talk about it all the time. I'm just having a brain fart.
I love the ocean, but it scares the shit out of me.
Yeah, me too. Do you know what scares me? Not the ocean per se. It's what I'm stepping on. That's what
the mystery of it.
Yeah, like I don't know if I'm gonna get a stingray. I don't know if I'm gonna get one of those.
Imagine swimming in the ocean and seeing just like a fucking blue whale the size of like 12.
Hold on, I was talking. Once again, you're doing it.
School buses, just this massive thing comes fucking is.
What I was saying
right by you. Oh my God.
I mean it.
That's fucking crazy.
I'm not joking. So I love how we can correlate the fear of these little things that we've acquired. We've learned to be afraid of them, guys, because those aren't things we're born with. We're not born being fearful.
Spiders and squirrels.
And yeah, like the squirrel thing, we don't have to be afraid. First of all, it's where we live. That's not good for us.
Raccoons and possums.
I mean, but my point is like, we're afraid of so many things, like fear of getting on stage. I have stage fright.
Yeah.
What is the stage going to do to me?
Like, but why don't we fear, say you see like a fucking Great Dane, a big ass dog, even though it's slow, it's still a big beast.
People are.
But
people were terrified of my dog.
But most people aren't. Like,
honey, I would say most people are.
When most people see a possum, they're fucking running. If most people see a spider, they're running the other way. A potato bug that doesn't even barely move, running away from it.
Right. Well, part of it I would say is the fear of unknown. Second, I would say maybe it's learned. So someone they know highly reacts. And so now they react because no one sat down and went, hey, a potato bug doesn't really move.
How did spiders?
It doesn't bite you.
Were we propagandized to fear spiders?
So I'm saying they want us to be fearful of everything. The more stress we put on our body, the less long we live. And obviously, the more miserable we are and the easier we are to program.
I'll tell you what, this mask thing it's morphing my beard into something new.
It really is. When you take that beard off, I mean, that mask off.
There's a little dent where my chin is.
There's a beard mask.
And then it's like a slope,
indent.
Like a ski slope.
Yeah. We get to see your real chin. And if you don't know about my baby's chin,
God.
Big head, little chin. Big head, little chin. Big head, little chin. He's a big head, little chin.
That's why I got this beard. Makes my chin look big.
So I sing that to him all the time while I push on his scruff so that you really see how tiny his little chin is.
There it is. Not that tiny.
No, it's not. But your beard's so much longer.
But it runs in tiny chins, kind of running the tiny double chins running the family.
Let me tell you, out of the family members I've seen, you got the most chin out of your families, and I'm grateful.
Hey, my dad listens to this. He's got an all right chin. He's a handsome
No, they
man.
all have all right chins. I'm saying, but you lucked out having the most chin out of all the Fetterman chins.
I mean, as long as I keep the weight down, yes. But if I put it on, then it just the double chin.
But then it's
overtakes.
a different chin. Then
Holy
it's the
shit.
back chin.
I'm looking good,
The
too.
front chin
I'm
never
looking
changes.
Slim right now. I've probably dropped over 30 pounds since the beginning of the pandemic. We changed our diet at the beginning of the pandemic. Started cooking at home. Stopped eating fast food.
We've fallen off a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, we're eating a lot of Sharkies, In-N-Out, and Chick-fil-A.
Sharkies is all organic and
not
good.
all organic, but for the most part. But In-N-Out is fresh, delivered every day. It's not frozen shit. I know. I used to work at one.
Okay.
And Chick-fil-A, I feel like
Chick-fil-A is probably the worst out of
the
all of
worst
them.
out
'Cause
of
it's fried.
And Pollo Loco are the worst.
Pollo Loco is bottom tier.
Sounds good.
Every
should
time
get
we
that.
eat it,
we pick that
we
up on
get
the way-
sick and farty.
We pick that up on the way home today.
Sure. I think we got a coupon.
Yeah, we do.
Do we? Do we have free nachos? Because then
we already used those.
Oh,
We already
that's
used
probably
the
why
free
we haven't gone in a
nachos.
while. Because once the nachos are gone, so is Bethany.
Those nachos are so good.
I love it. Do you remember the first time they came out with nachos? They were awful.
Yeah, they were crap.
We were
They
like,
garbage.
we ate them, but we were like, this is fucking shit.
Yeah.
And I think we ate them twice because we were like, maybe they messed up
Yeah.
because it was that
Maybe
bad.
they were having a bad day.
And their cheese was like white, right? It was like
Yeah,
a
they had white
yellowish.
cheese sauce. White cheese sauce.
It was just, I don't know what it was, but like it was soupy and weird, and it tasted like chicken broth instead of cheese sauce.
Yeah.
That's
Maybe it
interesting.
was. Maybe they put like chicken in it.
Yeah, and maybe it's separated or something. But I'm glad they took it off the market, they fixed it, and then they came back with it because they're great.
One thing's for sure, whenever we Pollo Loco, it's a shitstorm.
It is a shitstorm. We hate ourselves. Our stomachs are on fire. Mine is, at least.
And then we poop.
And then we poop. And then we feel better and we forget.
I was thinking about that the other day, since we talk about pooping every single episode.
It's life. We breathe, we poop, and we eat.
I know. I was thinking
And sleep.
about we share a toilet seat together.
Hell yeah, we do.
Like we share that seat. And you know what I've noticed too is the back of it is really getting rubbed off.
And I don't even hit the back of it. That's
me.
you.
That's all me. I lean back and I fucking, because when you sit up straight and kind of arch your back a little bit and get, then you fucking poop.
I use a poop stool.
Yes, you do. I hate that fucking thing. It's always in my way. You need to push that thing in.
You need to start using it.
You need to push that thing
You
in.
need to start using it and straighten out that colon. And it's just
I straighten out the colon when I
No.
sit up straight.
that's not what helps.
That fucker when
no,
I go
you
in
need
there
those
to pee,
knees to chest.
That's it. I'm leaving the
bitch.
toilet seat up now on.
No, you need the knees to chest. That's what straightens it out.
I'm
You
going
have
to
an-
leave the toilet seat up now.
Your colon is the shape of the S. And when you bring your knees to your chest, it straightens it out so that poop chute is like a choo-choo train tunnel, and it just goes. Honey, how long does it take me to shit? Tell the people.
Yeah, you're in and out.
Give them a seconds. Give them
Well, the other day you
under
were
a minute.
sitting there. If
because
you're
I
trying
do
to
a
get it
crossword.
out.
No.
Well, that.
So there's two reasons. Crossword puzzle.
Yeah.
I'm stuck on something.
Yeah.
Or, depending where I am in my cycle, I have 2 days of struggle poops.
Yeah. I like a good lengthy shit.
I don't.
I like to sit there and play my games.
Well, yeah, that's why it takes me long. I'm already done
But
shitting.
you play your games all day.
I know, but there's
Doesn't
something
matter
to
if
the
you're taking it.
solitude, and it's quiet.
I'm gone all day. What are you talking about?
That's new. That's new. So it used to be my reprieve from you. It used to be a
You look at me when you say that. You look at me
honey.
when you say that.
I did.
No. Look at me when you say that.
It used to be my reprieve from you.
Wow.
I was looking at your black
Looking right
dots in
my
your eyes. I was even looking at the black dots.
Unbelievable. It used to be my reprieve too when I go there and do heroin.
Oh, that's right, bitch. I don't want to smell that shit.
I used to spend all day in the bathroom smoking heroin.
I remember, so this was pretty close to me finding out. We were a mess, and
Wait a minute.
What
Was
I've
this
been told
after
so-
you already knew I was a heroin addict, or was this the second time around, or was
I'm
this
trying to remember.
when you caught me after I was sober for a little bit?
I'm
or was
not
it prior
talking
to
about the
that?
catching. I'm going to talk about so people understand how drugs fuck with a person's reaction time.
Can I talk about after you're done with that the first time that you caught the foil when we got the kittens?
Sure. So what happened was I was
Booty. A man's butt.
so I did a show.
Booty.
I want to say like Comedy Store. So I had to come over.
Oh, is that the one you came running back up? That's where the kittens pulled out the foil.
Oh no! That was the one I did on Ventura.
Oh yeah, that
at
one was
the
close.
pot store.
Yeah.
So I'm going over Laurel Canyon to get back, or I was at the Improv because I went. It was a straight shoot, and I got to Laurel Canyon and Moore Park. People don't know. Anyways, I got to this intersection where you have to I had to take a left, and it was late. It was like midnight. And it was, I believe, a Saturday. And a minivan was coming at me. Now I'm in the left-hand lane.
Oh, yeah.
Double lanes. And then there was a third middle lane for a turn left.
Yeah.
And there was a minivan that was coming straight for me.
Yeah.
And it was, it had just turned green. So he shouldn't have been going fast yet,
Right.
but he never stopped. And he veered towards me, and I thought he was going to hit me, like head on.
Yeah.
So I knew I would hit the guy next to me, but I was like, fuck it. Here's a minivan coming straight. Like what I pictured quite quickly was the minivan literally riding up the trunk, what is the front called? The hood of my car.
Yeah. Smashing you or going
me.
into the car?
Yeah, going into the car and basically smashing me.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, I better move. So I didn't even look. I knew there were cars there. We were just at a stop, and I was like, fuck it, I don't want to die.
Yeah.
So I ran, I took a quick right to move, and I pushed on the gas. So I ended up sideswiping a brand new SUV, like expensive car.
Yeah.
And then the minivan, by the way, people were honking at it.
Yeah.
Like it was a thing. And then it sped away.
Of course it did.
I was so mad.
Minivan drivers are fucking crazy.
They were drunk.
They're nuts.
They had to go, and like.
I always see them on the freeways doing fucking 85, 95 miles. Fucking
oh, and then it was a
in and
piece of
out.
shit one.
Minivans.
It was like from the 80s. It was bad.
It's no insurance.
No insurance.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Of course.
And no, I don't know if you have to have a front license plate, but it definitely didn't have any license plates.
You absolutely have to have a front license
Okay,
plate.
so they didn't.
That's
So
the law.
obviously
That's
already
the law.
some illegal shit happening.
The law.
Okay, so I'm gonna flash forward now. So I was in this accident. I come home.
Well, you called me.
I don't even remember calling you.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, of course. I probably
I
called
was at
you.
home trying to smoke heroin,
Yeah.
and you interrupted me with this call.
Right. That's what I mean. It must have been so short and futile that I don't remember at all talking to you.
Yeah, you did.
And
yeah, I told you because you were like, "Should I go to the police?" I was like, "Yes, go to the police."
No. You're missing it. You're messing it up. That's not what happened.
Yes,
so that's
it
why.
is.
No. I'll tell you what happened. You don't remember.
Even though I was on heroin, I remember that.
Okay, so listen. So I deal with the person that I hit at the SUV, and I was like, "Here's all my info. I'm totally sorry, but that minivan." He didn't even end up seeing it because he was fighting with his wife in the car.
Boy.
And he even said, "He's like, I didn't see it." I was like, "Well, did you hear all the horns honking?" And he was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "Well, that car was literally going straight for me." And anyways, he was very cool. Blah blah blah. I go home because I want to tell the cops to find this minivan. So I get in the house, I open the door, and Sean is now. I had already called to tell you that I was in an accident.
That's what I was just saying.
Right, but it was very short. We didn't talk much, and I opened the door, and he's asleep. Not at the time, nodded off.
No, I wasn't.
Yes, you
I was
were.
awake when you got home.
You heard me come home, but you were asleep.
So there's a huge difference between being asleep and being nodded out.
Okay,
Just
so you were
know.
nodded off. That's what I meant.
Had I not been on heroin, I would have been awake.
You should have been.
I was on exactly. I
Yeah.
was on heroin. I don't have control whether I nod out or not. You lose.
You're getting defensive. I'm just telling a story.
I'm just telling you how it is.
Okay, so you nodded off. So I get home, and he doesn't even move. He's still in the laying position.
Yeah.
He's still on his back too.
shit.
He doesn't even roll over on his side to address me.
No, that's not. Come on, really?
I'm just telling you the truth.
That's what happened.
And yes.
You're having euphoric recall right now.
No, that's only what addicts have, and you're having right now. And
I sprung up and I was like,
shush.
"Baby, are you okay?"
Let me tell the story, because no, you didn't.
Okay.
You absolutely didn't, Sean. So I open the door. I am a mess. Now I'm a mess already just because of what we're dealing with, and I had no idea what I was dealing with yet, but like I knew something was wrong. And
You thought I was cheating on you.
I did. And
Which I guess I kind of was.
yes, you were.
Yeah.
And so I walked in and I was like,
With heroin. I was cheating on you with heroin.
yeah. And which is totally fine for me as
Yeah.
long as it's not another woman. High five. All right. So I open the door, no reaction from you. And I'm like in tears because the last thing I need is another. If you remember, like months earlier, I was rear-ended.
Right.
And just one thing after another that I was dealing with.
Isn't that crazy when there's like negative energy in the life in our lives? attracts
pummels
stuff
you.
to happen.
Yeah.
And you, unfortunately, you know,
it wasn't even my
felt
stuff.
it wasn't even your stuff,
It
but it
usually
was
isn't.
because you were surrounded. You had the aura of it from me.
Yeah. And so anyways, I was like, babe, like, come with me. I'm going to go to the police. And you were like, no. And I was like, babe, come with me. It's midnight. I'm by myself.
Yeah,
please. I've just been in an accident.
I probably shouldn't.
Yeah.
But I did go with you.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Wait,
no, you didn't.
What time did I go with you to the...
Oh my God.
I went with you one time to go file a police report.
Maybe you did, but this is not that time.
You didn't end up going, though.
Yes, I did. Oh my God.
I went with you one time. I swear.
I can't.
I swear.
Honey.
Can I just interject really quick?
God.
Had I been sober, I would have been boom. Understand something. Being an addict, I mean... It's a disease or it's not. For some people, you believe it's a disease. For some people, you just think
It is a disease and people just aren't.
I know, but then there's other people that think you're just a piece of shit if you're an addict, which is fine. You're entitled to your opinion.
That's just because of their own stuff that's attached to the...
But it is a disease and it's, it is what it is. And had I not, it's a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde type thing. Had I been sober, honey, I would have probably Ubered to you because I don't have a car at that time. I would have Ubered to you.
Honey, I know all of this. You're getting defensive.
I'm just letting our listeners know.
Honey, believe me, if I didn't think you were that person, we wouldn't be sitting across from each other having a podcast and a band and every other thing we do together.
Tell me how great I am. Really
Stop, because I'm already looking at you. I can't look at you anymore.
Before you continue, just tell me how great I am.
So I'm like, please come with me. Still has not moved from the couch. Hasn't even, like I said, rolled over. He just turned his neck. Can't move from the couch. What did you have? Did you have paraphernalia on your chest or something?
I think at the time I was thinking the cops would know that I was high.
Well, yeah. Now I had no idea. But yeah. So, anyways,
let's say wouldn't. But I mean, I thought that it would.
At this point, it's like 1:30 in the morning. By the way, because I had already dealt. It was past midnight.
Yeah.
When I had the accident, and so I had to go to the cops by myself. I get to the cops and they are...
You did. I didn't go with you that time.
I told you. That's what I said.
I didn't go with you that time.
Yeah, I know.
I'm remembering now.
Yeah, good.
The cloud is... Yeah.
You just got out of your funking...
You got booger in your left nostril.
It felt like it.
Yeah.
It felt like it. I need to blow my nose, but we're on the podcast.
It's like right there.
What, on my left?
Your left nostril. So I didn't go with you. Yeah.
Okay. So I
didn't, man.
No. So, and these cops are looking at me. There's only two and it's late and no one else is there. And almost all the lights are off except the like weird haloic light that's beaming on the one fat cop. And no disrespect, he just was fat. Like, I'm not being like,
there are fat cops out there.
He was a desk cop too. He even said he was. And so I came in there and I'm still a mess and I'm upset and I have to, pay for this other car that I had to hit so not to die. And there's this drunk minivan guy who's out on the loose right now. So I went in there and I was like, hey, here's the description of the van. Here's what happened. Can you help me? Like, if you can get the camera, it's a big intersection. So I know they have cameras there.
Right.
And I was like, can you get the camera? And he started laughing and he's like, honey, we're not going to go and search the city. Like, in other words, like, even though there's this bad person out driving, causing accidents out there, who knows what, or who else is out getting bombarded by him or her. I felt, baby, you have to rewind it. I couldn't, you left and then I had no one to talk to.
I'm back.
And
keep going. I'm back.
I lose my ADD goes crazy.
Okay. I had to go get this cold brew coffee, but keep going. I'm sorry.
So I don't even know where I was.
The cop.
But they didn't help. They were like, there's nothing we could do. And I was like, so there's a drunk driver in a minivan right now and there's nothing you can do.
Isn't that crazy? Because you didn't have like any... You didn't have the footage to present to them. And then they actually have to work a little bit. That's too much work for them, honey.
Yeah. And I was like, but I'm going to have to pay for this other car.
It's a huge thing in our lives, but to them, it's a small, not even petty crime.
Well, but the thing was, and like I was saying,
which is bullshit, by the way.
Clearly, they were on something. They couldn't stay in the middle of the road. They couldn't stay in their lane. They couldn't even, like, after I hit the car and they drove off, because it stopped, it swerved.
You want to try it?
No, I'm not drinking any caffeine. It's terrible for you, especially for women. So I don't.
Were they going through an No, you were stopped at an intersection to make a turn, or you were going forward? Okay, and then they were coming not in a turn lane; they were just coming straight.
But then they came into my turn
lane, over
into
the lane.
Not even through the intersection yet. They were in the other lane,
right,
towards me, and it was the other side of the street.
And
it was their left.
And
turn
then I was
lane.
at home on it, doing heroin.
Doing heroines.
Oh my
yeah.
God.
By the way, we call it heroines.
Heroin.
When we make it adorable here.
Heroin.
So that's my story. Nothing happened. I ended up having to pay. I know.
It's a sad story.
It was sad because when I got home, so here's my point.
I was a complete scumbag.
Yeah. When I got home, it's like I felt so alone, and I felt like my life had never felt like that.
Yeah.
Like I just felt like...
You've never been with a junkie before, honey.
No, I definitely have been with addicts.
You've been with addicts, but a junkie is a different level of addict.
Yes. They were all highly functioning. And not that you couldn't function in the beginning, but man, you went downhill. And by the way, for those of you who are in your heads right now going, how did she not know? How could that happen? Blah, blah, blah. Sean has a heart problem.
Yes, I do.
And so,
I had a heart attack when I was 30 years old.
So he would regularly tell me, my heart's not doing good. Yeah. I'm not feeling well.
Ooh.
And you would use that.
Master manipulator.
Yeah,
oh,
and it would
God.
hit my heartstrings. Yeah. And I would be like, oh my God, well, I got to take care of him and help him. And
I wish I could say when I said those things that it was partly true, but no, it wasn't.
No, you're healthy as an ox.
I was just doing drugs.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the first time you caught me.
Yeah. Oof.
So Bethany and
Let's see how you remember this.
Bethany and I have been together for over 6 years now.
Yeah.
High five.
High five.
And
I'm so good.
Yeah, you're amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And so again, Bethany was out at a show. And that's the perfect opportunity for me to... So when we first met, I wasn't on heroin. I was smoking a lot of pot and then got back into pills and then, promoted myself back to heroin.
Because pills are expensive and I ran out of money.
Exactly. So heroin, here I come. And I had been strung out before, went to rehab for it and whatever. So she's out at her comedy show and I'm at home, setting up, got my foil, got my fucking heroin, got my little straw, just smoking the heroin. And then she had left for the show, I want to say 30, 40 minutes prior.
I had told him he just had heroin brain, but I said, oh, I'm playing this show on Ventura.
Right.
In other words, it's 4 minutes away from the house.
Right. Very close to us. And but it didn't occur. I thought you were going to hang out. You were going to mingle.
Well, it was at a pot store, which
right.
At the time I never, ever did smoked.
Right. And we had, this was 5 years ago this happened,
and
I think.
Just to clarify too, the pot store where we did the comedy was a tiny room with like 30 people jammed in it. Right. Not my cup of tea.
So, and we had just gotten the kittens. We had just gotten the cats. So they were these little tiny baby kittens. So fucking cute. Little apple head, pumpkin head, big old pumpkin heads, tiny little fuzzy body kittens. And it's just me and the kittens at home. I'm smoking heroin. Kittens are being kittens, right? And then out of nowhere, I hear running up the stairs like 35 minutes after Bethany had left to go to her show. It's her. And I was literally in the middle of taking a hit of heroin.
Good.
As I heard the So we have an ottoman that we put our feet up on and stuff like that. And I hear it and oh man, I have to ditch the foil and the straw
everything, yeah.
and the lighter underneath anywhere. So I put it under the ottoman. And she gets home and she opens the door really quick because she thinks I'm cheating. So she kind of looks around like looking for somebody. And I'm like, hey, babe, how was your show? So I ask her how the show was so we can not talk about me or anything like that. Just get all the attention off of me. You tell me how your show was.
No, the first thing you said was, oh, you're home so fast.
Oh, that was so fast, babe. Anyway, so she sits down next to me. You were like, it was weird. It felt like you would, even though I don't think I had just moved in, so it was still not our apartment yet. It was more yours, but you were acting like it was my apartment and you were sitting down very uncomfortable.
It just felt
Right.
wrong. Like the energy going into the room. Guys, if you don't know, I'm a huge empath.
You explained that last. You're psychic. You're an empath. You explained that last episode, honey.
And so it felt like a different energy was in my house.
Okay.
And that's why I always thought it was somebody else.
Which there was different, because I turned into a ghoul when I'm here. I'm a straight up ghoul. But so she sits down and she's talking. And, I'm trying to ask as many questions, so I don't have to say she killed it, of course. And then you start to hear. I hear it, and I'm like, oh my fucking god! One of the cats is under the ottoman. Playing with the tinfoil. With the tinfoil with the heroin on it, which is shitty. I mean, the cats were not injured. They didn't eat the heroin. Nothing happened. I had crumpled it up, so they didn't even really have access. But they could have opened it, I guess, and eaten it. But I don't think they would have because it's chemical.
That's Cookie's dream right there.
And then you just hear, and then Puss, little tiny cutie Puss, pulls out this ball of heroin or a ball of foil. It was
flattened though.
Well, because I squished it and then I put it under.
Yeah.
And then she drags it out and starts hitting it around. And Bethany looks down at it and she's like, what the fuck is that? And then I reach down really quick and I grab it. I was like, I think it's from the brownies that we made. I think that's the foil from the brownies that we made. We didn't make any brownies. There were no brownies that were made.
I've never put brownies in foil.
No, we wrapped the cake tray because we had done that like a couple weeks prior. So that's why I used that excuse. We didn't have anything, no cake or brownies. And there was black stuff on it. Black.
So I thought it was chocolate.
Because when you smoke, what you do is you take the black tar heroin, you put it on the foil, you tilt the foil, you hold the lighter up on the other, so you hold the straw in your mouth, you hold the lighter on underneath, and you melt the heroin and you inhale the smoke that comes from it, so it drips down the foil. So there's all these black drip stains because it's black tar heroin. So I was like,
called Chasing the Dragon.
So I was like, maybe in my mind, quick, this all happened within seconds. Brownies, brown smeared stuff. Anyways, it got to the point where I was like, babe, it's hash.
No, that's because I was like, we don't have brownies.
Right.
What are you talking about? And then I started opening it and you wouldn't let me open it.
Right. And I was like, I don't want you to see it. And then, so I got to the point where I told her.
No, you said you don't want it to get on my fingers because it's hash.
Because it's hash. So I told her it was hashish because I believe you could smoke hashish that way. I don't know. I've never smoked hashish, believe it or not. And told her it was hash because I was really stressed out. I had just started a new job, I think, over there at that restaurant. Mm-hmm. And I was, on heroin, so I was super stressed that I had to go in and work when I should have been doing heroin. But so I told her it was hash. I was stressed out, and I just needed to relax a little bit. And then I said,
"Oh, I've never done hash.
Yeah,
I want to try it.
Yeah,
because that's pot, right? Hash.
Yeah, it's a form of yeah.
So I was adamant, and I was like, I want to try it. And you're like, no, this is really
strong. But how sweet am I that I didn't let you try it?
Well, but that's why I knew you were lying because...
Well, it took a couple days. And then I think you caught me and you kicked me out like probably a week or two later.
We'll tell that story another time, but that was because you said you had to go to he said that he had to go to his heart doctor on a Sunday.
On a Sunday, yeah.
And
you even drove to the place and took a picture of the
because I told him, I need a fucking picture of this doctor who works Sundays.
I think I Googled
it.
The inside of a waiting room and sent you a picture of a Google stock photo.
Yeah. And it was like the third, it's like when you look up images, it's like the second or third image.
Yeah, really bad.
Yeah. And
but I mean I just wanted to tell that story about the kitten since we're talking about my addiction and you having to deal with it.
Right around that time, I remember
the kitten outed me.
Kitten outed you.
Yeah.
I know that I was, and I think it was a lot because of you. We were both, obviously I have enabling and denial and all the wonderful traits that you get when you're in a relationship with an addict. But I remember I just toured and came from Vegas and I made money and it was cash. They just hand you cash and it was like, I don't know, $8 to $1,000 in the envelope because I also probably played slots. And I went with my mom. It was like this great, fantastic weekend, performed. It was awesome. And came home. I had my money because I had to take it to the bank. So I just leave it in the envelope. They give it to me and it's on the tray. And I go to the bank and the envelope's empty. And I was like, I told Sean, this was before.
Not totally empty, was it?
It was completely empty.
Clean,
Clean, honey.
I cleaned it out.
I bet you were taking money from it.
I also just want to stop
over.
you really quick, just so you all know, I've paid Bethany back tenfold.
Honey, you always get like this. Nobody. I'm not judging you.
I know you're not. I just want our listeners to know, in my program of sobriety, because I am in a program, you make amends. I have paid Bethany back financially, and I'm an amazing boyfriend to her now. And I paid her back tenfold.
Not
and I just
tenfold. You
give
paid me
her
back.
money, and I buy her presents all the time. Who brought you a present home today?
By the way, that's what a boyfriend does.
I understand that. I'm just saying the money that I took.
Now you're an actual boyfriend.
The
we
money
get it.
that I took has been repaid.
Hi.
Now continue.
So anyways, I was like, baby, where's the money? I have to go to the bank. What did you do with the money? Oh, I never accused anybody of anything. And I just said, what, have you seen where the money is? He's like, no, you had money? I was like,
oh, so yeah, money in there?
Like,
by the way, as I'm sitting there eyeballing and just thinking about that money every night.
And by the way, we'll get into that story another day too, but Sean was cleaning me out without me knowing it. I thought someone stole my identity, all this stuff. So this money to me was like rent. It was everything. And so I was like, where is it? And I don't know how, but you either planted it or I came up with it myself because I'm such an enabler. And I was like, the cats, because we had kittens. Yeah. And I was like, do you think the cats could have taken it? And you, of course, ran with it.
Yeah, I was like, yes.
So I'm tearing the house apart thinking.
But you have seen the cats take money out of your wallet before. And that's why you thought that.
Not like 10 crisp $100
Not the
bill.
whole wad of it. Yeah. I'm just saying they have taken stuff out of the purse before.
You know how dexterous they'd have to be.
You've seen it though.
To have been opened a paper envelope.
Seen it, but you've seen it.
Pull it out and not leave any trace of it. I'm sitting there. Cats. I'm sitting here thinking, are they building a nest somewhere? Like, like where are they?
Out of money.
Out of money.
Building a nest.
Like what? I know, and she's right next to us, just
look at her paws all spread out.
But that's because she's innocent. She did nothing.
So innocent.
Oh God, we have hundreds of stories, and hopefully we'll get back to more. But let's change the subject. That's a lot for people.
Needless to say, I'm a major scumbag when I'm using those drugs, everybody. Hey, just say no.
But I will say this, though. When you're on, you're very calm, obviously. And like you're a manipulator. You know what to say in the moment. So you always made me feel like you were sick and you'll get better. And this is temporary.
Yeah.
And I love you kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, like without, I know, it's so bad.
Ghoulish. You know, also when I'm using, I'm such a ghoul. Like, I watch all these crazy dark CCTV
you do, and I make you not
videos,
do it.
Like in other countries of people being hacked up.
I don't make you not do it. I ask you not to do it.
Yeah, and I haven't in a long time, but it gets very dark.
Well, and that's what I mean by the energy changing in my house.
It's crazy.
At the time. Now it's our house.
How's it now, though? Amazing, right?
Yeah, but because you even love to watch like fight videos and like.
Yeah, I like watching.
Sometimes you do.
World Star.
No,
like World Star
people
hip-hop
fighting.
That's World Star.
Oh,
World Star. People get knocked out and shit. Street fights.
Yeah, like all that. To me, at least in my point of view,
it's gross. I agree.
I would never give those videos a play, a hit, any support to continue what they do because I think it's awful and I think violence instigates violence and your attitude after you watch, it's different, like your mentality.
That's why I don't watch them anymore.
Right.
But I do occasionally watch car crash videos, dash cam videos. I do watch that.
I know, but what you do is put yourself in a heightened sense, and then when you go in the car, it could cause you to act differently than you normally would.
Oh, it doesn't.
You say that. It's in you. It gets, especially the more you see it, that's what programming is.
Yeah.
The more you see it, the more
That's why I do
becomes,
it sparingly. I don't do it a lot.
Yeah.
I don't do it a lot. I watch mostly.
It's just there's a seed for everything. That could be the watering of the seed. You watching these, and
I
will
barely watch
get worse.
those.
I know.
What I watch a lot of is the guitarist at Deftones doing playthroughs of his songs.
I know.
Just like you watch master classes of directors that you like.
I know.
I watch musicians that I like.
I listen to master classes of directors and writers.
Yes.
Right now, Aaron Sorkin is killing it for
Aaron
me.
Sorkin's dope.
You know what's funny is listening to Aaron Sorkin. So Sean got me Masterclass, and it's everything. I love it so much. And I'm listening to Aaron Sorkin, and he is such a writer because he's almost inept at speaking.
Yeah, because he writes.
So he does this a lot.
Really quick, Masterclass is an app is it an app, I guess?
Yeah, it's an app.
Where artists, directors, writers, musicians, dancers.
Now it's anybody who's anything good at anything.
Nutritionists.
Like interior decorators, chefs.
They do
Gordon
like
has
5
one.
to 10 episodes where they explain their profession and how they do what they do. And it's super cool.
Yeah, and they give you all these like what's made them successful,
right?
And
tips and tools.
Yeah, so if you want to be a chef,
they teach you.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of chefs on there and they tell you like all their tips, tricks, and what's made them successful. And to me, that's at least in the last, I'd say,
Does
2
DJ
years.
Khalid have one? Because I'd actually watch that to see what the fuck he says and how.
Do you know?
He got
I'll tell you what
successful.
DJ Khalid is. He is positive.
He's successful as fuck.
But that's why I'm saying, because he is such a light
and
super
another
positive,
one.
It's difficult for me to listen to him speak because I can't hear the same thing over and over.
Cholesterol in his brain, it sounds like.
I don't like repeaters. To me, that means you think I'm not listening to you, which I find, and I don't want to say disrespectful, but I find that you're, I don't know the word, but I don't like it because one thing I am born and raised good as.
But maybe that's what
is a listener.
Maybe that's what we need to do.
What?
Because he's successful and he repeats.
Well, you have to repeat in comedy and stand up. And I actually think it's to my detriment because I don't like to repeat, so I won't.
Yeah.
But I feel like for me and my audience and the way I write and stuff, if you're not hearing it the first time, then you're probably not my audience. Which is bad.
Yeah.
I've gotten better at it, and when I write other stuff, I will do it. But I had to learn a big lesson there. Like, look, not everybody listen. I'm ADD. I don't listen to everybody. I don't listen to everything, and then I'll connect the dots myself because I haven't heard everything, which isn't good either. But that was a big lesson for me probably in my first 5 years is like not everybody. And I used to talk really fast because I get so excited when how I tell stories when I'm excited. Yeah. And so also that because the comprehension isn't always there, or you're drinking or they're talking or they're distracted. So you need to repeat. But if we're having a conversation and you tell me 8 times the same thing, I will then have to say like, I'm listening to you. I can't hear this again. Like
that's one of those things, huh? Because
like if we're fighting, I've done this before because you're a cyclical arguer. In other words,
what does cyclical mean?
Like you go in circles.
Oh yeah.
So you'll say something, it leads to another thing that leads to another thing, and then go back to it.
Yeah.
And I'll say like, you're not hearing me. And then you stop
talking, and then I'm like, and then I go right back to that thing.
Because I can't hear it again. Like I've heard you, and that goes for anybody. But with you, I feel really comfortable saying it just because you know who I am outside of a fight. Or in a fight.
It's funny because when you tell me that when we're in the argument, like I'm like, I was like, she's in my head. I'm like, she's fucking right, but I gotta keep going because I gotta.
It is
my ego. And then
you can't. It's like
it's weird
impulse for you. You can't stop doing it.
Right. That's how it was. That's how it is. But luckily, it takes a few minutes. But I'll usually say, I forgive you. After a few minutes, yes. I'll say that to her. I'll say,
it's okay. You go, it's okay. I'll forgive you.
After we've been quiet for a few minutes, I'll say that. I'll say, it's okay.
In this voice.
I forgive you. And then.
You don't say it like that. You say it funny.
Yeah.
You go, it's okay, baby.
It's okay, baby.
I forgive you.
I forgive you. Let's move on. And then I really apologize and say, I'm sorry. I was an asshole a few minutes ago.
Yeah. Because you can't get out of it. Something happens. I've even, when we're not fighting, asked for a safe word as a joke, like a safe word for him to stop repeating.
Yeah.
I'm like, watermelon. It's
crazy.
And then when you're in it, that makes you mad.
I malfunction in that moment. And then,
It's like a blip on a record when like there's a scratch and it goes, and I say, Mama say, Mama say, and I have to hit it with my elbow. Mama say, Mama stock song.
You know that song by Natalie Imbruglia? Because you're a little late.
Yeah.
That's not her song. There's this band called Edna Swap. Have you ever heard of them? They were like this 90s grunge band, female fronted. It was her song.
Is it a better song because it's 90s grunge?
I think you'll like it. I just found this out like a week ago. I don't know why the record, but Edna Swamp, and yeah, I just found that out the other day.
Do you know what's funny?
It came out like a year before, and then Natalie did it, and it was a fucking huge hit.
Of course.
But this poor chick couldn't get it.
But Natalie was manufactured, so it makes sense. It was a huge hit.
Yeah.
Like they really pummeled everyone.
She married the singer to Silverchair.
Yeah.
Which they're divorced now.
We love Silverchair.
Oh, yeah, big fans.
Oh, man.
Big
Daniel.
Silverchair fans.
So you know what that reminds me of? When I was a kid and I was listening, so I was a goth kid and I loved Susie and the Banshees.
Let me tell you one thing.
Hold on. I'm not done.
There's no was. Once a goth, always a goth.
I'm always goth, yes.
May not wear all black and black eyeshadow.
I don't need to.
Anymore,
it's in my heart.
It's still there.
And it's funny because John and I talk about this all the time. Like, goths like goths. So, like, there's a lot of goths right now that aren't walking around because we're adults and it wouldn't serve us in our careers, our lives, being a parent, all these things.
Aren't rocking that look anymore.
Right. But what's cool is I feel like I can equate it to being from Chicago. Like if I meet another Chicagoan,
Chicago
it's
is the
like
mecca
boom.
of the industrial goth scene.
Well, no, but what I'm saying is when I meet someone from Chicago, it's like instant.
Oh,
we are kin. And with goth, it's the same thing. It's like I can meet someone and I know there's this thing where you're like, you're dark and sad and depressed. And I don't mean like in your adulthood. I mean, this stemmed, I don't know, it's this link of like, and then it came out. You had this is what I remember my mom used to ask me all the time, like, what's wrong? Like, cause I was just so sad and introspective and, I didn't have many friends. I didn't whatever. And by the way, I didn't want them. I did not relate to them at all.
Yeah.
But she would talk to me and all I would say is that my inside was coming out on my outside. Like that's how much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to make me cry. That's how much like sadness and hurt I was feeling that I had to express it on the outside so that it would help keep people away so I didn't have to explain myself. Anyways.
She's getting all teared up right
because
now.
Because I never articulate that. You can't explain it. But I think that's why goths, when we meet each other, like you and I, when we met, we were not at all.
Yeah.
I mean, I was dressed like a witch, but.
Yeah, she was.
But like dressed like
dress.
a modern witch out, like you would never guess it. But another goth would be like, oh shit.
Yeah, it was hot.
So anyways, I used to think, because Susie and the Banshees was everything, one of my everything bands, that Dear Prudence was hers.
Yeah.
And so I would put it in the car and I'd be like, Dear Prudence, how she sings it.
Yeah.
And my mom's like, no one can really redo this. And by the way, my mom's not a Beatles fan.
Right.
And she's like, I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, this isn't this person's song. Like my mom didn't know Susie.
Yeah.
She could never say the name too because it's spelled with an X and stuff. She always would say it wrong, Suxy. And I was like, what are you talking about? And she's like, this is the Beatles. This isn't Susie's song. And I was like, no, it's her. You know when you're a kid and you think you know everything? And I was like, she did it. It's perfect. This is the way it's supposed to be. And then I found the Beatles because I was like, what the heck? And sure enough, it's way better. But like,
yeah, the Susie one's really good.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
And usually the first thing I hear of something usually stays my favorite.
Yeah.
But in this way, it didn't. I heard it and I was like, whoa. What was I going to say though? But anyways, that was my point. Like, I lost track of
it's
my point because
okay,
I got sad.
Yeah.
And then it detracted me from my point because I got my feelings.
How did we get to this subject that we're talking about right
Because
now?
we were talking about goth and you were talking about Natalie Imbruglia.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's what I mean. Like here, everyone thought it was her song because we never heard the other song.
Right.
So it becomes hers. Look at Sinead O'Connor. That's a Prince song.
Yeah.
Nothing compares to you.
Well, he wrote that, but No,
he sang it too. Yeah. Oh, yeah. And then he gave it to Sinead, and then poof, like crazy. And then nobody knows it's a Prince song.
Yeah.
And so many covers have done that, by the way. That's why I'm all for it. Like, you want to cover a song? Great. Fantastic.
Yeah.
Or look at Alien Ant Farm.
Oh, Smooth Criminal.
That's what made them huge.
Yeah.
I mean, hit after hit.
Marilyn
that was
Manson.
already a huge hit.
Marilyn Manson, Sweet Dreams.
Limp Bizkit.
Yeah.
Right?
Well, no, Faith wasn't their big hit.
I know, but they redid it for a lot of people who didn't know that was George Michael.
Yeah.
It's just interesting how art is. And by the way, that's the only cover that I respect, is when you take it and you make it yours so much that either you know the original artist and you don't care and you're like, Wonderwall.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Oasis. Fantastic. Amazing. But Ryan Adams took that song to another level.
He really did.
And even, which one?
But if I had to choose, I would stick with the Oasis version. If I had
on that
to choose,
song,
because it just, you got to hear that Oasis album because it just fits. It's a puzzle piece in that album.
Oh, definitely. It definitely fits in that. It's a great song.
I'm just saying, if I had to go to a desert island and pick either that Ryan Adams album or that Oasis album,
but
I'm
not talking
Oasis
about
album.
albums. I'm talking about if you offered me a Oasis Wonderwall and Ryan Adams Wonderwall, I'm going to choose Ryan Adams.
See, I look at it as a big.
I don't get a feeling from Oasis Wonderwall.
Oh, I do. Oh,
I don't.
Ooh.
But when I hear Ryan Adams, I get all the stuff I get from the Oasis one, and I emotionally relate to it because you're like, it's.
Oh, I know. I love the.
When
Ryan
I heard
Adams
the Ryan Adams one, I was like, I finally know what this song's about. Like, that's how it affected me.
Yeah.
Where I was like, oh wow, they did not even do their own song justice.
I think we talked about this before. Because then, people say the same thing about the Johnny Cash cover of the 9 Inch Nails
That's
Hurt
a
song,
fucking joke.
which is offensive.
First of all, you're not even saying the lyrics.
We already did it. We already did a whole thing on it, baby. So we don't need to do that anymore. But all we can do, I'll tell you what we can do. We could give ourselves a shout out. Acon Podcast on Instagram.
Wow, we are late on this. We usually do this up front.
A Couple of Nuts Talking Podcast on Facebook. Review us. Share us. Talk about us. Enjoy us.
Share. Tell somebody.
We love doing this.
Post about it, please, with a link.
We love to make you smile.
At us on a joke about something we've talked about. Please, if you got a Nickelback joke, fucking at us.
We got to do another Nickelback dissection, which we're going to do.
Yeah.
And
okay.
That's a siren right there.
Yeah.
But this was a dark episode with a little bit of sprinkles. We put some colored sprinkles on it.
We always make people laugh in the darkness.
Yeah. So
true goths, by the way.
If there's any other addicts listening, I'm sure you can relate, or Al-Anons that were taken hostage by an addict.
Yay.
If you're currently in your addiction, you can get through it day at a time. Being sober is fucking dope as fuck. Let me tell you what. But it takes work. And
if you're struggling with someone you know that's an addict and you need help just as much. I know it's hard to hear.
Right.
Sometimes we're even sicker.
Yeah.
Because we have an ability to not see what's really there.
It's
and
true.
Once you see what's really there, it works across the board in your life and everything changes.
Yeah.
My life. That's why when I speak on this stuff, I'm always so grateful that Sean was an addict.
Yeah, that's the thing, everybody. All the scumbag shit that I did, you got to realize I have changed
tells me,
her.
Thank
Hold on,
you.
I have changed her into this
you
amazing.
haven't changed me.
You're an amazing person when I met you, but now after meeting me and doing what we did, our little addict dance, you are just
That's because I went and got help.
You're you times a fucking billion jillion. And that's because of my addiction.
Right,
You're welcome.
Not because of you.
You're welcome. It's me. It's 100% me. You're welcome. Because you dated other addicts, and then you never did anything to change it. But then you met me, the ultimate addict, and you changed yourself.
I remember
You're welcome.
The addict that I was with for a while. And I didn't know until kind of the end of our relationship that he was. Like, I had friends telling me. And I remember that one day, it was like after a binge drinking night for him, and I I was putting on my shoes, and he's like, "Where are you going?" And I was like, "To an Al-Anon meeting." Had never gone.
Aww.
Never even knew what it was, but I had a friend.
Never told me that.
Yeah, and I had a friend and whatever. And I just left the house because I didn't know where to go. I didn't really, like, I never
That was your way
up.
of saying you're an alcoholic.
Yeah, and I'm in it, and I don't want to be in it.
Yeah.
And then after that day, it was like very shortly after we broke up, because I think he was found out basically, and he didn't want to change.
Yeah.
So it was the best thing to happen for me.
I've seen, oh man, I've been that guy before. I remember one time, this girl I was dating, she was just bawling her eyes out. And she's like, "You just drank so much." And I looked her dead in the eyes and I said, "I will never stop drinking." And she just looked shocked when I said that. And she bawled. She was cheating on me at the time. So it's like, and I think I kind of knew, or I did know. And that's why I had no problem saying that I choose the booze over you.
Yeah.
That's fucking a dark place to be. I hope your ex is okay.
Honestly, I don't think anything's gonna change.
Okay.
He hasn't. Yeah.
Well,
There's so. I remember.
How would you know this? Why do you know?
Because I had to do an amends.
Oh, okay.
I did an amends,
All right.
and it was still all my fault. Like,
you look at me when you say that.
Like, it was funny, and when you do amends, oh gosh, for all the people listening who aren't in a program, you do this amends, and where you go back and you just take accountability for everything of your part. And so you make amends, and so you make a list with your sponsor of all the people.
Yeah.
And then you call that, like, whatever. There's all these other rules that you figure out. Like, if it's healthy for you, healthy for them, blah, blah, blah.
You don't need to reach out to all your exes, but there are certain people in your life that is suggested to, write a letter to or reach out to.
Right. Like, just for instance, so you get a gist of it. Like, if you gossiped about it, if you ruminated about it, because I'm an Al-Anon, so I have different kind of keywords that I have to look for where my accountability is. If you had any manipulation in it, if you had, any mothering is one for enablers. So I had to take accountability. And I just remember the phone call, because at the end, at least my sponsor, I don't know if this is what everyone does, but my sponsor always says, "And is there anything else you'd like me to take accountability for?" Right? So in case I had some sort of denial or didn't see it all. And everyone that I had done amends to was like, no. In fact, it was funny because most of them were like, I don't, like, you ruminating is your own, like, I don't care that you're thinking about whatever. So it's interesting. And then this one though was like, yeah. And he started telling me, and the stuff he was telling me, babe, I was like, are you fucking kidding me?
Yeah, but you can't do nothing. You just got to take it and let them get their shit out.
I was like, okay. And then I was like, and hanging up, and that's such, like,
oh, you never told me about that.
No.
I think I knew you made the amendment, but you didn't tell me that they started firing stuff off back at you.
They didn't fire stuff off. It was one thing that was something that he was telling me throughout the relationship. Which,
what was it?
I feel like if I say it and he ever hears, he'll know it's him. But
you're not saying any names. Doesn't matter.
That's true. He was saying
he already knows it's him because
I was treating him like my past boyfriends, which was not true.
How would he know?
A, how would he know? B, I was adamant about that. Honey, when I came into this relationship, did I bring anything?
I will say this, not in his defense, but in the beginning of our relationship, you did talk about your first biggest relationship a lot, which is understandable. No, I know it's not, but an alcoholic, and like I think I probably got a little like, oh, why is she still thinking about that? But an alcoholic will internalize that and think that you're comparing them to the ex and why she's still ruminating. But
he wasn't even talking about comparing. He said that I was treating him as if he did what my ex
so
did.
You were treating him bad because your ex treated you so bad.
Yeah, but that's not
that's
my nature at all.
That's his euphoric recall. That's him.
Exactly, because that's what happened in his last relationship.
Sure.
And by the way, he did it to me because he always thought I was going to cheat on him. He thought all these things because his ex-wife did.
Yeah.
So that was like a crazy thing to listen to, because I was like very aware that he was projecting onto me what he was doing in the relationship. Yeah. And by the way, I was a sponge. Like, if I did something, tell me, like, because I want to get rid of this shit. Like, I was all for it. But then when I heard that, I was like, okay, well, I didn't do that, but yep. Okay.
Yeah. But that's also the thing is that's his reality.
Yeah, that's
his truth, as people say.
Yes. So whatever. So
excuse me.
That, like, I just listened to him and was like, okay, yeah, I'll take accountability for that. Like, I was gonna say something and I forgot what it was.
Yeah.
Oh, well, anyways, when I hung up the phone, it was such a like major release and relief.
Yeah.
Because
that's what that program's all about.
I know.
Ooh,
it's magic.
Yeah.
It's seriously magic. And
some people are creeped out by programs saying they're cult like and shit like that.
I thought that in the beginning.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, this is fucking weird. They're all saying the same shit. But I'll tell you what.
And I didn't have God in my life at that time either. I don't know. Sorry if that turns you guys off, but like,
it's not a cult. And if you're an addict or you're a family member or your loved one is an addict, this shit helps you get out of your own way, and it's completely fucking opens your world up.
It just makes you a better human being.
You see this guy.
I feel like I said this halfway, I don't know, after my first year. I remember being like, every single fucking person. This should be a subject in school.
Yeah.
That every human being goes through.
Yeah.
Because it's not about if you're an addict, you're this, you're that. Everybody has something.
Yeah.
And if you can eliminate that in your teens and find out that you don't have to give a fuck what everyone else's shit is their own business. Yeah. And it's none
it's
and
so
their opinion.
freeing.
Man, I remember
I was feeling that the other day driving into work. I was like, I am fucking free as fuck right now. This is amazing.
Yeah.
And I'm talking not about I'm talking about spiritually and internally.
Yeah.
Free as fuck.
You're free of the mind fuck.
Oh man, don't take anything personally.
Yeah.
Which is hard to do because sometimes you feel. And
that's one of my strong suits.
No, I mean, I'm not perfect at it, but the majority of the time I don't take shit personally. And it's helping a lot because a good way to check myself now is because I stopped wearing deodorant. Whenever I do take things personally, I squirt out my armpits and I get all hot and sweaty, so I get a little stench. So it still happens.
But now you'll be aware of it.
Exactly. It helps me be aware of it. You'll notice when I come home after a long day, I don't even smell anymore.
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Well, there's sometimes where the shirt's a little too tight.
Yeah, But there's something to the freedom of your own mind. So like for addicts, it's a little different. I think every addict should go to Al-Anon too, though, because I think I heard before that addicts give you, or AA or any program, 12-step, gives you your life back.
Yeah.
Al-Anon gives you quality of life.
Yeah.
So that's why I feel like if after a certain amount of time, and babe, that's what I feel like I have now.
Quality. Some people find it in church. Some people find it in other things, surfing, meditation.
Well, but that's it.
Whatever.
I'm now finding it in other things. It taught me,
catapulted
that
you.
it's everywhere.
Yeah.
Which is why I feel connected now to a higher power.
There's magic in the makeup that you put on your face. It's a No Doubt song, I think, by Gwen Stefani. But hey, that's a good positive note to end on.
I think so. What, Gwen Stefani?
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
Well, each his own.
We love all you so much. Thanks for taking this ride with us.
Yes.
What a great fucking episode this was.
No doubt.
Hey, oh! You look at me when you say that.
I did. Don't hide me in a bush.
All right. Well, until next time.
You didn't get that one?
Oh, because she dated Gavin. They have kids together.
No, they married. They were married.
Everything's and everything's and I don't think so. Oh, man, we don't go to Ralph's anymore.
I know.
So we
used to see our Gabby.
I think we're going to start seeing him real soon, though.
I hope so. We're supposed to.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wanted to say before we sign off. If you are struggling.
Yeah.
Either in addiction, out of addiction, with someone who is addicted, feel free to message us on our Facebook, on our Instagram. We're more than happy to talk to you more about it in depth. And we love you.
We're here.
We care. So until next time.
Stay nutty, everybody.
Bye for now.
Kim says.
Bethany. And Sean. We are a couple of nuts talking